there, here to share with you 2 foods that we love for babies' first foods. So my daughter is now 8.5 months old, and she is now starting to eat anything that we eat ourselves, my husband and I. However, that wasn't always the case. Of course, when they're just getting ready to eat, you want to feed them foods that are liquidy in nature and also have a low chance of allergic response. So the 2 foods that we loved were egg yolks and chicken broth. Now both of those foods, again, are liquidy in nature. The chicken broth, of course, yes. And then the egg yolk, if you're like me, you might be thinking, egg yolk is hard. Well, you actually soft boil the egg, so it's very liquidy, like an egg over easy. And again, we loved these foods. The reasons that we did was because nutritionally they just offer so many things that a growing baby needs, which is lots of fats. The chicken broth has lots of good digestive enzymes in there, so anybody who's ever dealt with a grumbly baby tummy knows that they have a hard time digesting things, even breast milk, which has enzymes in it that breaks the breast milk down right away. And these foods are also very easy to prepare. The chicken broth was something that we already, had used quite a few times, and if you have never made it before, very, very simple. The easiest way to do it, if you've never made it before, if you're a novice, here's a quick recipe, is to go to the store and buy roasted chicken, and of course consume all the chicken meat that you want. Take the bones and any of the little grizzly pieces that you aren't going to be eating, throw it in a big heavy pot that has a lid, and cover your chicken all the way up with water. From there, you're just going to simmer it from anywhere between 4 and 12 hours on the stovetop, and that's it. You've got your chicken broth. From there, I do recommend using a sieve to get out any little pieces of fat or any really small bones, as opposed to a colander. If you don't have one of those, you can use cheesecloth. Or you guys might have those fresh store bags for fruits and vegetables that just have little teeny holes in them. All those things can be used to sieve out all the little bones and fat pieces into jars. And moving on to our next food that we ate, which was the egg yolks. Again, those are soft boiled. Now you need to experiment to find out what is the right temperature, how long you need to cook yours for, to find just that consistency where all of the white is cooked, but the egg yolk is still very liquidy. Now for us, I found that to be about 4.5 minutes long, and then from there stick it right into cold water with ice and nice chilly water going right over the eggs. Now the reason I mentioned you want all the white to be cooked is because you don't want any of the egg white getting into the egg yolk when you go to break that open in your son or daughter's eating bowl. And the reason for that is because while egg yolk has a very low chance of allergic reaction, the egg whites are not that same way. The amino acid chains in the egg whites have a far more likelihood of causing an allergic reaction or having someone who is allergic to them, as opposed to the egg yolks. Now my daughter loved this stuff, and I think the reason for that was because it tastes good. It's egg yolks and chicken broth, those aren't very sweet things, but they're very fatty, they're very satiating, and she just loved them. And second of all, they're extremely liquidy. There's no grainy nature to them. Once we transitioned her to finely chopped oatmeal, and even some baby pureed foods, she did not like the texture. You could tell that with her tongue she was feeling it and trying to push it out. She did not enjoy it. So for us, both the nutrition benefits and secondly, the texture of the food just made it an awesome win for her first foods. I hope that gives you guys some suggestions on some things to try. If you're interested in other nutritional benefits, or if you're concerned about feeding this to your son or daughter, definitely check with your pediatrician. We got the green light from ours, and we found it to be an amazing first foods. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.